Hello, hello, hello. Hey, everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome back to Crypto Traders Arena. This is I guess, this is our first day back in the real world after the holidays, at least on YouTube. So, hope everybody had a good end of the year and maybe had a chance to take some time off. We definitely took time off, but then everybody just ended up degen and shitcoins in the degen room on Solana all holidays. So I don't know if I actually took any time off of trading. I just started doing a different kind of trading, I suppose, which was a lot of fun. Everybody was pretty excited about the recent kind of meme shitcoin rally in Solana, or on Solana, I should say. But I still did kind of manage to, I don't know, take a little bit of time. And we didn't do much streaming. So here we are back for, I guess, episode 51 it is. And we made it through all last year. Every Sunday, we started the first of the year, actually the very first Sunday of the year last year, and talked a lot about like the accumulation year. And I think all that actually played out pretty well. It's kind of funny in hindsight, looking back at the at 2023. It basically was sort of, I mean, there was, of course there was some big moves in crypto, but even inside of those big moves, if you really just zoom out and think about it, we really were just basing all year with a couple rallies. There was the sort of first quarter, well, there was the end of the year bottom that came in 2022 that sort of set the bottom, and then everything rallied up until like about March or so, it seemed like, or most things. I shouldn't say everything. In fact, it was a good example of how not everything rallied. It wasn't a true bull market. Sort of like the stronger names like Render and the other AI names at that time were going pretty good, and a handful of other ones. But I don't think you could say that the entire altcoin market was rallying during that time. And then I suppose like that. Then we got into that sort of first sort of dip where it's the sort of, how would I say, like the people that didn't believe prices would come back down were proven wrong. Like when everything was ripping at that time, it was hard to sort of imagine that there would be a buy opportunity again. But sure enough, most things rolled over. Ironically, Render didn't quite dip. Maybe Render hit 61.8. I can't remember. But most things made their way back down and offered another buy opportunity, which if you were, I don't know, following along in this show during that time and trying to buy the bottom of the range as things came back down, then hopefully you were enjoying this more recent rally that's been happening over the last little while here. And I'm speaking mostly altcoins. Of course, Bitcoin's been in basically just an uptrend ever since the beginning of the year. I mean, I got Bitcoin on the screen here. You can see the actual W breakout, funny enough, was basically right at the beginning of the year, which is hilarious in hindsight. I mean, you can see that little W. It's not the most beautiful W ever, but sure enough, that big old green candle there was, that's January 9th. So that was the beginning of the year. And of course, Bitcoin's been in a basic like higher highs and higher lows uptrend ever since then. But speaking more about altcoins, I think definitely this sort of accumulation process happened. And if anything, if you go back and look at a lot of these altcoin charts, just trying to remind yourself, or trying to learn this if you're new, then it's pretty good example of like a consolidation, long sideways consolidation setting up what could be this bull market into the halving that we're hoping for this year. So, maybe pull up some charts if you want to go back and look at that, and you'll see that the bear market was, well, even just using Bitcoin here, like Bitcoin topped in November of 21, and then it bottomed in November of 22. Is that even, God, that makes, it's almost like it seems too short. I remember the Bitcoin, I feel like the Bitcoin, or not the Bitcoin, but just the crypto bear it seemed like it was forever, right? It seemed like it took forever. But to be fair, it was about a year and a half. And I think that's kind of reasonable, like if we have some sort of epic crypto cycle like we had in the past, and once it finally resolves itself, it takes, there's a good year or maybe even 2 years of pain, And somewhere in there, maybe you call the actual beginning of the accumulation year or the accumulation cycle probably really started with the FTX kind of capitulation, which I guess that was right here. So, but even this kind of capitulation bottom sort of marked the beginnings of this kind of accumulation phase for Bitcoin, which, hilariously came in right in a reload zone here. So if you're new to this game, learn your fib retracements and learn that, these sort of cycles often retrace all the way deep into 78.6, for example. It's not uncommon for Bitcoin to come off 80% from the highs. And sure enough, that's what it did. But my point is really just the whole accumulation year seemed to be very active last year, which is good news for us now because that sort of just keeps the whole story kind of like nice and tidy, actually. Like we were expecting kind of this long accumulation year, and then, the Bitcoin halving is coming up here now in I don't know, 4 or 5 months or whatever it is. And we were sort of anticipating some sort of, like beginnings of a bull market heading into the halving, and then by the halving, hopefully there's just a full-on uptrend here starting in Bitcoin, which will ultimately drag up the rest of the market with it. And so I think everything's on track. I think the question everybody wants to know is there going to be another chance to buy these things? And of course, I don't know the answer to that, but just like in the first quarter of last year, and just like just like in the first quarter of last year when nobody believed that these things would come back down to good levels, they ended up doing so. So I think I do kind of think there'll be an opportunity to buy altcoins again. Of course, I won't know for sure. But in general, the prognosis is good for a uppy year. So let's just try to stay focused and see if we can take advantage of it, which is the whole purpose of this show. Of course, we have our Road to Financial Freedom plan that we basically use as the backbone of this show that my co-host Paul talks about every week, where we've essentially just week by week through all last year went through in this particular case, in this particular trading plan, we've been focused more on the sort of bigger market cap coins. So like the top 100 or so market cap altcoins, and we've just been reviewing those week by week, trying to hunt levels, and all our levels are posted in the Road to Financial Freedom trading plan spreadsheet that we have, which is just available on our Discord if anybody wants to follow along. And sure enough, I think it's doing pretty good. It's just working away, banging out doubles, and I saw Miku was posting doubles over the last week from that plan, so I know that I've gotten quite a lot of doubles over the last while, almost to the point where I just kind of lost track of posting them, to be honest. Most recently, I got a double on GMT overnight, and that's about it. It seems like I don't know. Are things running out of steam right now? That's kind of what I'm getting at. I don't know. I'll talk about a couple things that kind of present the possibility of a rollover, but we really haven't seen a dip yet here from this recent rally, right? And I suppose everybody's, it's like if you're already long, great. If you're not long, then, it's a dangerous place to go chasing. DMAX saying the halving's in 99 days. So that makes sense. So, wow, that's closer than I even kind of thought. Is it really 99 days? That would be 3 months from now. I thought it was more in like May. But whatever, we can maybe get that verified here later. Anyhow, what was I talking about? So, question is there going to be a dip? Who knows? I think right now there's obviously a lot of energy and like excitement around these ETF announcements. I think I even saw that people are expecting it, some sort of announcement soon here on the I think I saw a quote that BlackRock's expecting an ETF maybe even this week. I don't know, or announcement. I don't know if that's true. And I think everybody I think the market's probably kind of, obviously looking or, waiting for that news, I suppose. Bitcoin itself is kind of, pretty choppy inside of its like local range right now. And I think it's in a dangerous location to go be like an investment buyer here for sure. But the question is what happens on those news events. I mean, clearly we have some sort of narrative going here. There's a, big FA driver here for Bitcoin, which is kind of going to have some sort of an impact on the market. And I suppose it seems like everybody is assuming it's going to be sell the news. Typically if you have a rally right into a big news event, it's not necessarily the greatest situation for, like, if you're a bull, to see the market just ripping right up into this big announcement. And that's kind of what's been happening. So I don't know. My first thought would be, yeah, it'd probably be like a sell the news type event where they're basically going to suck everybody into that. And then basically you just become liquidity for the big players that really just need to be exiting their positions. And so that seems to make sense. The only problem is that's what everybody's saying. So it becomes this thing of like, well, if everybody's saying that, then so who knows? Maybe it actually turns into more of like a sideways kind of thing, which I think is would actually be the healthiest thing to happen, because it's sidewaysy, maybe even like Bitcoin cleaning up its act a bit to the downside would sort of allow this altcoin buying opportunity that I'm looking for. So we'll see if it happens. But without getting too far ahead of myself, maybe I'll just make some comments about Bitcoin, and then we can sort of get into our list and see what there is to, basically at this point now we're in a situation where we just gotta like start drawing our reload zones again and start working our bids for these pullbacks, because I mean there's not a lot of stuff to go buy right here in altcoin land. It's sort of tricky because we are getting to a place where most stuff, like I was saying earlier, like the first rally at the beginning of the year was like, I don't know, just to throw a guess out, maybe it was like 30% of the altcoin market. It wasn't a very big percentage of the altcoin market that was ripping. And then of course the second rally, it was more. It's like now it's getting towards the higher than 50%. I'd say a lot of things are ripping, so which means it's kind of hard to be a buyer right here. I think they call that bullish percentage, right? Like, I don't know if anybody can find it'd be cool to see like a bullish percentage index for crypto. I don't know if that exists or not, but it's just basically showing like, like I can't remember the exact calculation for bullish percentage, but it could be something like how, what percentage of the market is trading above the 200 period moving average or something like that. And I'd imagine it's probably pretty high right now. So makes buying tricky, but of course, with Bitcoin specifically, I don't see how you could be a buyer of Bitcoin right here. And like I was saying, like if this is like some sort of sell the news event, then the big players are probably looking for exit liquidity here. And if you just look at this chart, I mean, wouldn't it be sensible for like, the big players, the people that put the bottom in here, this is a pretty good profit taking window, right? Like somewhere up in this area is not a bad place to be letting go of some of your investment. If you're down here buying at 20 grand or below, then 44 sounds like a pretty good place to be looking to take profit, not to be a buyer. So I think the smart money is not accumulating here. It's just really a question of do they want the market back down again to reload? So, which they probably do. And I guess I'll just say, Bitcoin obviously blasted right through the dump chaser zone. So I don't think we have like a dump chaser zone correction in working here, kind of like we saw on the DXY, for example, which came up into the dump chaser zone, put in an M and came right back down to the bottom of the range. Which we might as well just really quick look at the DXY, and you can see that, the dump chaser zone on DXY, this is a pretty good example of a bull market that's not ready for a bull. So we actually M'd out in that zone, came right back down to the range, and now it's trying to figure out if it's going to bottom in the reload zone. Bitcoin, on the other hand, didn't experience that. We kind of just ripped right through it. And if anything, we're sort of building above the 50% level here. So I don't think you can say the dump chaser zone's active right here. I think what you can say is the 50% level got oscillated around for like several weeks, which is pretty normal to expect. We ripped up into 50% level, and you can see the traffic just kind of back and forth now for the whole end of the year last year. And it ultimately broke out to a new high and is just kind of looking pretty uppy right here. And I think the story with Bitcoin is the same as I've been talking about lately. I think the chances of this 48,500 level getting hit is super high. This is 61.8 fib, and this key high back here, which I consider to be the confirmation of the bear market from last year, or last bear, I should say, not last year. So, but even just looking at this price action and up and down oscillation around the 50% level, hopefully you can see how it's a coin flip which way we go here. There's a bunch of open air below. This straight up move just left a giant kind of gap in volume through here. So like, backfilling any of this area could happen at any moment, and ripping up into 61.8 could happen at any moment. So I could definitely see some sort of ETF kind of announcement where they run price up into the short reload zone, into that announcement, only to find a big old wick shooting up to the upside, and then price coming back down into the range. So watch for that. But point being, I don't know how you can go buy $44,000 Bitcoin here, and well, if you do that, hopefully you can just accept the downside risk you're taking on, because I think support for Bitcoin's way down here, right? So and we could put a line there at the old highs here, which is 31,800. And that's the first kind of look left support, right? This is just open air here. Excuse me. So just keep that in mind before you're going and loading up on Bitcoin here. And even just to zoom in a little bit, like maybe look at a 4-hour chart, and hopefully you can just see the kind of like ugly range that's happened here, which is sort of pretty volatile and just not willing to make a decision on direction here. Like you can even, perfect example is how they ripped it here, took out the old highs, and then just pleasantly put an M in and back down. Like they basically sucked new longs in up here. Classic FU kind of move. And actually you could argue maybe even power 3, like equal highs all through here. Lots of them. There's like 4 solid highs that are all pretty close to each other. They took out that liquidity and then just came right back down in a violent dump, and then just bounced it right back up into short reload zones. And I know Paul was just talking about being short this morning on the lower time frames. So tricky area right here. This is just crazy, sort of kind of the behavior you'd expect at the 50% level, to be honest. I mean, you could see the 50% levels here at the top of the orange box. So pretty not a huge surprise. And so that's kind of why I think that, I mean, just like I said, we could just rip right up or rip right down and then make the move after that. So I think, I suppose for me, ideally, I'd like to see that. Might as well get it out of the way, rip up and hit 61.8 into this fundamental driver, and then sort of come back and clean up sort of all this back here. And I mean, on this lower time frame chart, you could argue there is some support here at 38, I'd say. But even to come down to 38, that's going to be a pretty good dip that could back altcoins off a little bit more, because even on this screen right here, there's a lot more red in this list than green. I mean, it's not big red, but yesterday and the last few days, there's been a little bit more downside in altcoins. And like I said, I only got one double off, so there might be a little bit of running out of steam in altcoins. So hopefully that makes sense. I mean, where does that leave us right now? I think being patient is key. Having your plan in order is key. And now, like, I could just pull up any random altcoin here. I'll just pick like, I don't know, like, well, I want to talk about Sol here. That'd be a good one, because I suppose if you're, talking about, get that off there. If you're talking about whether the altcoin market's going to dip, of course, Sol has been a big runner. Well, the Sol ecosystem has been going nutso with like all those ridiculous names. Like this one, I cracked me up today. Coked up Charizard, or if that's how you say it. I'm not really a Pokemon person, but isn't Charizard a Pokemon thing? I don't know. But this shit's hilarious. Anyway, when shit like this is ripping, that's all well and good. And if you can take advantage of it, and I don't know if this one in particular is ripping, this is just one I saw that we were talking about today, but once, in general, the whole Sol meme coin shit has been going nuts. That's not really a great sign for like sustained bullishness. It's gotten a little bit over the top here with like, even just the amount of these meme coins that are being created every day. There's just like so many coming out on Sol, and also probably elsewhere, but Sol's sort of been the leader right now in the meme coin rally, it seems like, or at least over the last month. So anyway, once stuff like this is just kind of getting a little bit frothy, then it wouldn't be a huge surprise to pull up Sol and go like, well, holy shit, that's like a daily M that's actually confirmed in the dump chaser zone. So remember, I was just like the DXY, we didn't really get all the way to the 50% level yet, but clearly Sol's got an M here on the daily chart, and it's been just a massive straight up move. So is it time for things to kind of come back down to earth a little bit? Probably. I don't know. So let's just wait and see what happens with old Bitcoin. And I don't know, what's another big, like, I mean, there's some of them are like some of these other like ecosystems like are still ripping. Like I think like Arbitrum is still, it's not really M'd out here. It's basically just ripping still. There's like a 3-bar top here, but nothing like Sol. Sol looks a little worse to me. Or maybe like SEI seems to be the new place where the money might be flowing. It's still ripping. So it's kind of a mixed bag here. Like maybe Sol's, people are rotating out of Sol a little bit, and these haven't quite topped yet. Although I do see the same kind of conditions here, like in RSI and all these, not really like divergence here. I mean, definitely divergence going to all the way back here, potential divergence, but not really like M's. It's just sort of got way overbought, stayed overbought for a while here embedded, and now it's kind of losing overbought, possibly rolling over. Of course, there's no guarantee we'll get an M. It might just have to V-top and come right back down. But the main point here is maybe these things have gone a little bit too far. You could see the open air below, and I think retests of lower levels are probably coming, and that's going to give us the buying window for sort of the other kind of shit coins and all the, not shit, I like to say shit coins endearingly, but just all the like, all the sort of lower market cap stuff that might be the big runners later on in the bull. And just stuff like that I want to buy, like, do I have it on here? Or I know it. Like, I really want to buy this Gods Unchained. And this is a pretty good example of one. So like, I mean, this is a daily chart. You can see where my bids are here at Mountain Man, 61.8, 78.6, 88.6, basically. And you can kind of see the M is working, and you can see how easily price could come down into this level. So that's the dip I'm looking for going forward on a lot of these, something like this. I don't own this yet. I'd really love to buy it here. And you can see that it's just basically buying, retest the weekly W's, right? This is what I talk about constantly. And in fact, this one's such a perfect one because it's got everything that I look for in terms of, kind of capitulation bottom came in, setting up OBV divergences, and then the OBV divergence eventually confirmed on this rally. So now, and there's now a W. So any dips into that green box or lower are buyable opportunities, in my opinion. And hopefully you can just see how, even if Bitcoin just dips down into that 30, there's the deeper support level that I talked about on the weekly charts, which is much farther down. I lost my train of thought here, but just going back to Bitcoin really quick, like this one down all the way at 32, that would be a pretty epic dip. Easily draw that Gods Unchained down to reload zones if that happens. And then even just a dip into that other support area, which I think is like right here, like 38-ish on the lower time frames. Even a dip down to there would probably bring that Gods Unchained down into a buyable window. So anyway, that's a long way of saying all you can really do is what I did on that Gods Unchained and just patiently wait for my bids to get filled. I'm not going to buy it right here. I don't see any reason to go and step in here, but I'm willing. Even 61.8 is a little bit more on the aggressive side, to be honest, but you can see how the W breakout is at 61.8. So I like the idea of hitting it right there, but point I'm trying to make is I think that opportunity will come, and if you're not ready for it this time, that might be your last shot, man. And Paul likes to say he thinks this is going to be the last bull market for a while. So if we miss this buying opportunity here this year, we might really regret it down the road. So just keep that in mind and make sure you get your plans together and go work your bids. I had a person tell me the other day, one of our members who's just like a fucking G at banging out doubles. He's far surpassed my ability to bang out doubles, I think. And he told me, what did he say? I think he said he had over 100 bids working on over 100 different coins right now. And that's what it takes. You got to have them working. Cause like I said, with this Gods Unchained, it's very easy for price to get knocked down into this level, but it might not stay down there for long. Now that we have a W base here working, you might just see it come down, hit 78.6 and rip. And if you weren't there with your bid working, you're going to miss it. So keep that in mind. Anyhow, that's sort of my introduction, I guess. Hopefully that makes some sense. I mean, at the end of the day, I could have summed it all up nice and fast by just saying pullbacks are buying opportunities, and hopefully we get that pullback. By in no means am I at all bearish now. Like, I mean, even if Bitcoin just comes off hard, that's just a buy the dip moment. Basically, for me, all the way until the halving, I'm not going to become a bear. So actually, I see Hanya in here. Hey, Hanya, if she doesn't have to start working on the Guild of Bears. We're still in bull territory, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, actually go on Twitter and find the Hanya's project. Which I guess I don't have my well, it's my profile pic on the on Discord. So where can I find that really quick? Or on Twitter, I could go to. I think I already have Twitter up here, so I guess now I'm getting off track here a bit. But I did want to just oh, there it is right here. Just mention this fun NFT project that Hanya's made here called Guild of Bulls. And I don't know where. Oh, that's me right there, actually. So me and Paul. Oh, cool. That's a post about us. Nice. Well, so here's me and Paul here in the Guild of Bulls. Also got like Brian Beamish and a few other traders from around the TRI community and our community, and also Colin from Hero Lab. So go give this project a follow and keep an eye out for these coming forward. But the point I was trying to make is don't need to make the Guild of Bears yet this year, I don't think, because I think we're all bulls. Well, I'm a bull at least until something shows me otherwise. And really, honestly, like I was saying earlier about the accumulation year going along pretty much as planned, then I don't see any reason to not just keep thinking that we're just gonna, do what we've always done into the halving, which is just basically rally after it, but kind of rally into it with the dip. Suppose I probably don't need to get too into it, but I'll just want to show that dip really quick. I'll pull up my old Bitcoin halving chart. Where do I even have it here? Oh, there it is. So let's see here. I have the halving in April. I don't know that that's I don't know exact day. That's what I had it at, but just looking at the last one here, which was COVID, but you can kind of see how the bottom came in 18 months ahead of the halving, and then we had this sort of like sideways and then dump into it, and then kind of rallied right into it and just kind of never looked back. But there was a red candle right on it. Previous halving too, we rallied up, kind of dipped a little bit right into it, and then continued rallying. Sort of just sideways into the first one. So this is kind of this. I don't see any reason to think this won't happen. You can kind of see how, we've obviously been rallying right into it. Got a few more months here. Maybe there's a dip like I was talking about. Things are a little bit overextended, but any dips right here are buyable. That's all I'm saying. And I don't see any reason to think we're not going to be up here somewhere down the road. So act accordingly. Anyhow, I didn't even introduce my co-host here, but I think the king of Crypto Traders Arena is with me. Paul J, are you here, sir? I didn't even introduce you.
Well, I'm just a stupid trader, so.
But you're our fearless leader.
Yeah, I know.
And
just a stupid trader is the best description you can make.
And that's a good thing to be, I think. There's no reason and something I've actually thought about a lot with just talking about this stuff on YouTube, because there's sort of like my trading and then there's like my talking on YouTube, which are obviously very related, but they're also kind of different, because sometimes I get caught up in feeling like I need to like I don't know, call the market or like be right, which is a dangerous thing to be. I don't want to try to outsmart the market. I'm not trying to be right. If anything, I was wrong about a couple things last year. I like thought we would maybe move down into the end of the year. We clearly did not do that. And then, well, there's two things I was kind of wrong on. I with Bitcoin, I was convinced this head and shoulders target would be hit, which ultimately it was, of course. And that was, I think that was at 4 or 38, right? Somewhere around in here. But I got a little bit too bearish right here. I thought maybe we were going to roll over here into the end of the year, and well, that's not what happened, right? So
Well, I had the same impression, but luckily we are trading setups,
yeah, that's the good
and
news.
we made some money. Yeah, I have the sensation that I missed I missed some opportunities to long Bitcoin, but we made some money on altcoins. Scalping using Holy Grail, I made multiples 10R trades, so I think we did pretty okay.
Oh yeah, well that's
Now is not.
oh go ahead. I'm sorry.
Now I don't think is the time to become bullish. You saw what happened. How many people got liquidated? You saw the big amount. Well, that's how the market is working. Now they cleaned up a little bit. Yeah, we can put that blow off top we are talking about from months ago.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just the last point I was going to make about being wrong on YouTube is the cool thing is it didn't really change what we were doing, right? Like we still, uh, like with this show, even just only talking about this show, we still just worked our bids in reasonable locations, and we had them working. And when prices came down there, we bought, and then when prices doubled, we sold, and everything just sort of went on smoothly, regardless of whether we were right about this move or not. It still produced what we were looking
Yeah.
for in altcoins. So that's the differentiation that actually even just in this, just with my perspective on how I do these shows, I just want to, talk about, well, trading setups, not so much trying to outsmart the market because you'll never do it. Like we know
Well,
that
I don't need we
exactly,
we don't need to outsmart the market. We don't need to be right.
exactly.
We have to establish from the first point, and that's what we are discussing in our community in Discord. Yeah, even with the Capua one, we are starting with one question: you are here to be right or to make money? A lot of people don't understand that statement. Yeah, I don't care to be right. I want to make money. Well, if I want to make money, I need a plan, I need statistics, and I need good setups. The rest is up to the market.
Yep.
But some people they say they want money, but actually they will get upset and when they are not right. Well, is not your purpose here to be right. Your purpose is to make money, to make a living, or to make a lot of money from this market. You don't want to care about, well, I was wrong this time. Well, that's cost of doing business. Any business you will see in this world has some expenses, and hit your stop loss on being wrong is exactly like that. It's just expensive expenses to the business. You risk some money to find out if that idea will work, and if you're wrong, you lose a small amount. If you're right, you'll win a bigger amount. That's the whole point of doing being a trader. It's pretty simple, but a lot of people they don't want to get that idea. They want the best tool, they want the shiny things, and they don't have a good plan or a good I don't know business plan, business model. It's not hard. It's not hard. It's not complicated. It's hard to execute because it's boring. Even today, I had to take some scalps. I'm allowed in my plan, and I had to do the daily spreadsheet like every day. Well, I slept 6 hours. I do that. I did that. I did that. Okay, now I could scalp, but I'm not starting to trade until I'll do my daily routine. It's boring. It's ugly, but if you want to make money, well, we started with another rant.
Yeah,
Kevin
that's a good
stopped and
rant though.
I started it.
No, that's a good rant though.
So,
There's a lot of truth in it. And I think, I mean, going forward, we should all just remind ourselves of that fact. And hopefully, people that listen to our show listen to us from the perspective of that. Like, we're just trying to, keep doing what we're doing, trading our plans, trading our setups. And really, whatever happens, whether Bitcoin shoots up first or shoots down first, it's really not affecting my trading plan, actually. Like, I'm not, if I want to sell Bitcoin, I should have my orders working. And to be honest, I do have an order to sell some Bitcoin at 61.8. I feel like I should let go of some there. Uh, and if it doesn't hit that, if it goes down first, it doesn't really change anything for me. And I'm also not
Well,
selling.
I'll gladly take enjoy a dump now. That
Yeah.
will destroy altcoins a little bit and will fill some orders. You will see in the day in our plan. We have some orders to get filled, so I'll happily accept a dump now. And I'm talking day in day out, every day in the daily plan. I'm talking about long reload zone. Wait in the long reload zone if you want to buy Bitcoin. There are two questions. If you want to buy Bitcoin, yeah, don't buy it here. If you are trying to buy here, it's just asking for trouble. Doesn't matter that in 10 years Bitcoin will be 10 times higher. It's just not a good business model to buy here. Wait for a retracement. You will never see, I don't know, a professional trader or a bank or a smart money buying at the market in an uppy market. No, they'll wait for a retracement. Big money, they'll make a retracement because they can do that. But the rest of us, we should wait for a retracement.
Yep. I mean, look how ugly this weekly candle's turning out to be this week anyway, with the big wick up to the upside and the tail to the downside. That's that kind of like sort of local range volatility that's just going to chop people up on the lower time frames, especially if you're not prepared.
Well, well, this candle is not closed. I spoke about multiple times this week about that candle. In the middle of the week was even uglier than now.
Yeah.
But let's wait. We still have a couple of hours. Let's wait to see the close.
Yeah, for sure.
If we close like this, well, it's still bullish. Could still go up. But if we close lower, it will be an ugly weekly candle, honestly. Let's hope we'll close here or higher. Even if I'm short on scalping level, I'm hunting. I'm short and I'm trying to get some profit. But if we close like this, okay, we still have a chance.
Yeah. I mean,
If
clearly it is
not,
still
I
pointing
think
higher.
I think 46 is. I think 46 could be a local top. I'm not saying it is, but could be.
Yeah, we'll see. What else can we? Well, whenever you're ready to, we can move on to the coins we're talking about today. Whenever you're
Well, I
ready.
had a way like we discussed this year. We'll talk 10 coins every time. I think it's about time to step a bit for to do more. It's that kind of environment. This opportunity will not last forever, and I think 10 coins every Sunday. It's better. So we have 10 coins this week. I don't know if you tested my screen if it fits the OBS.
No, we actually
But
had
you
a
can do it
meeting.
now.
Here, I'll get you set up here right now, but I wasn't totally prepared because we actually had a meeting this morning that ran right into the start time. So like a little unprepared for my on my end actually, but it looks like you're doing pretty good. Let me
Well, it's the best moment when we can do a meeting because fits all the time zones, yours and ours.
yeah. Well, your screen looks pretty good to me. We're looking at a GLM here.
Okay, I don't see it on YouTube yet, but I think I'll see it pretty soon.
Yeah, well, it's up.
Hold
It's
on a
not on
second.
YouTube. We're probably working with a little bit of a delay here, but
Yeah, as usual. So let's start with the plan as every time. You can see the same plan. Pretty simple. We are still in the first part of the plan. Yeah. I said 2022, 2023. Well, seems like we are in 2024 and still in the first part of the plan. So we are still using that risk management strategy learned from Brian from TRI to get some free coins. We are still in that part. So buy low, buy a small amount, sell half on a double, get some free coins, get your money back, and repeat the process. It's pretty simple. TRIers, people who joined also the TRI part, they know that strategy. People who want to learn it, you can learn it from TRI or from us. how we approach this market. We are still in this environment. I don't think it will be the case to change anything until after the halving. And the second part, read the plan and you'll see what we'll do. So still here, I don't know if you need to mention that you can make a copy, you can make your own spreadsheet, you can do your own plan, you can adapt it, you can change it, do whatever you want. But this plan is made by us for all the community members for free without any payment, to be damn sure that all people who follow our community or are in our community will make some money in this bull run. If you follow the plan, if you put the time and effort, if you are not lazy, if you are consistent, well, that's up to you. But we wanted to put something to be sure that you have the possibility to make some money, and don't chase and don't buy the top of the market like usual. I think if you follow this plan with $2,000 or more or less, you'll make some nice money at the end. We are consistent. We started last year. We'll get through this year, maybe next year, until we'll finish this program. We want to, I don't know, prove to people that it's really simple, without too much emotions, to make money with a small amount, because our risk is only the money we invested, not more than that. So we cannot lose more than we invested, but the potential is really nice, at least in our view. So this is the plan. We are not responsible what you do with your money. We are not financial advisors. You should read the red part every time you open this document. Okay, now let's go on the coins. And we left with sushi last year. We should start with GLM. Let's see what we have on this one. And you can see on my screen, I said 10 cents. I wanted at 10 cents. Well, this time market said, just said no. Let's express myself really nice because I'm on YouTube. If you put a limit order here at the bottom, I don't have any problem with that. If you put the low and the high and then you're waiting at 78.6 a bit higher, I don't have a problem either. What I'll do, I'll just let the order here until I'll see a wide and big weekly W. I don't see it yet. Yeah, we have some kind of a W action here, but it's not enough. Not for me. So I have the possibility that a black swan event or something ugly will happen and I'll get a fill, or I should wait for a weekly double. So I think this level is good for me. I don't need to do anything else. And you can see what happened. Yeah, the market was bullish. W on lower time frame, you can manage to make some money, some doubles, some trade to some setups. But overall, we're still in the same range. We're not exponentially up. If Bitcoin will retrace before the ETF, after the ETF, before the halvening, after the halvening, probably this chart will look different. And I think I have a chance to get my fill here. So I'll leave it like that. Nothing to do for me on this one. Now, let's take a look at the next one. And that's magic. Well, let's see how magic it is. You can see the magic chart. Yeah. Open, up, down in this area. Seems like I was a bit a greedy goblin here, honestly. I wanted the low. I could put my 78.6, 88.6, or I could take this W. I was a bit too kind of a cheap ass. I had a cheap ass attitude, and you can see 50 cents, $1. I missed a double. But I'm not perfect, and this plan is not to be perfect. It's just to make some money. So I'll reassess my strategy here. I cannot say this is a weekly W. You can see this is a slightly, but it's lower. So I don't have that weekly W. If you'll put your limit order at 78.6 here, I cannot blame you. If you consider this a valid W and you put your limit order here, I cannot blame you. Seeing this bottom here, well, I'm still hoping for a dump to get my order. So I'll do exactly like I did on GLM and just leave the order there. It's that simple. If I'll see a big weekly W, I could reassess and I could change. If you consider for yourself that okay, this is valid, or you want to get in this project, okay, you can buy 7.8.6, and you can. It's an acceptable level. I will just leave it here. Okay, let's take a look at the next one, and the next one is waves. Let's see what we have on waves. I was a cheap ass again. So seems like today is that kind of environment, and we are speaking about these coins that we didn't get a feel. You can see we are waiting lower. But in the same time, look what happened here. This is 2022. We are still in the same range. Nothing happened. Up, down, up, down. Well, from 1.5 to $3, yeah, I missed a double indeed. If I bought the 88.6, or if I even SFU of this level, now I should have some free coins. I didn't do that because this is a whole project and I wanted a bit lower. I'm not changing anything. Like I said, I'll wait for that weekly big W. I'm still thinking it's still possible to take this low. What I'll change, in my view, I could put my limit order just here a bit lower. But overall, let's think like that. Bitcoin it's at 44K, and waves it's at $2.5. If Bitcoin will go at 30K or below, you think I have a chance to get a fill here? I think so. It's $1. I think I have a chance to get a fill here. I have the experience of the last start of the bull market. Yeah, I know, was the COVID low, and that time was different. But I'm willing to risk and wait with the limit order here. I still have time to change my mind to see, okay, it's becoming bullish. This range is too long, and probably the market will go up, and I could buy some. For the moment, like I said in the other two, you can buy here at 1.7 or lower. I'll keep my order here. It's a big fat run number, rejecting multiple times. And honestly, old project like this, I don't think will go exponentially up without touching this level. I think here at $1, there are a lot of stop losses hidden. This is my experience, and my opinion is saying. I think it's still possible to get this level. So I'll keep it exactly where it is. Let's see the next one. Well, ID it's newer than waves. Well, I have some notes here. Let's see what we have. Probably on lower time frame. 20% out. So at the moment I made the note, 20% of the coins they're out, and 80% still have to come in the market. Well, that's not so bullish in my view. That's why I think 2.5 cents it's a good level. You can see what happened here. Huh? Opening up, down, back in the long reload zone, kind of a double action. First attempt to go up, but the selling pressure from the new coins is just too much. And I think we'll retest this level. So nothing to do for me. I'll wait here. Either I'll get a big W above this level, and I could think, okay, let's buy that weak YW. Until then, nothing to do. I want to get in this project, but I want to get in this project at the right price. I'm not chasing here, because it's a big difference where I'm entering. Keep in mind, now it's 20 cents, 28. It's a big difference if I'll get it at 28 at $20, or if I'll get it at 2 cents. 20 cents or at 2 cents. It's a fucking big difference. It's a difference, like, let's say if I'll buy it at 2.5, and I'll buy it at 25, well, it's a difference between 10x or 100x. I'm not using little old lady in this plan until the top. I'm using just to get some free coins. So my price, my entry price is really important. I'm willing to risk and wait with the limit order here. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Last time I wasn't wrong in the beginning of the year. Maybe this time I'm wrong. And I'll admit that when I'll see a big weekly W above this level. Until then, I'm comfortable with keeping the order here. Okay, that's ID. Let's take a look at the next one. BNX. Well, let's see what BNX will show us. Well, we bought this one. We bought the bottom at that point in time. And you can see what happened. Yeah, we bought 50 cents. And now the price is half of that. But still here, I don't see that weekly W. So I'm not allowed to buy more. If I'll see a weekly W, I still have 0.5% to buy more. But I don't think it's the case for the moment. Yeah, we should be damn sure that we have the short in the market. But nothing to do here. You can see this one could go a lot lower. And don't tell me this cannot go lower, because from 28 cents could go to 2.8 cents. And from 2.8 cents could go to 0.2 and so on. So we bought 0.5, let's wait. Either this one will do a pump and dump scheme or something and will get some free coins for us. Either I'll wait for a weekly W, a big one and a really nice one. Until then, no, let's wait. Okay, let's take a look at the next one, and that's Flux. Let's see. 1 second. Well, here I don't think it's pretty simple. We bought this level underwater. Now we are at the entry. I don't see that weekly W, that big one, wide one. We had a one here, but you can see broke that level. So we don't have a weekly W yet. We bought 0.5. Let's hope for a short. If we will not get a short, let's wait for that. Exactly like I said, that weekly W. Volume profile, let's see what we have. I think the big volume is here. Yeah, you can see the volume is below. The POC is below our entry. So I don't think it's the case to do anything else. Yeah, I could do what I could do here. I could draw my long reload zone from the low to the high and buy another 0.5 in the long reload zone. Well, if you'll do that, I don't have a problem. It's acceptable. It's okay. You are not chasing. I'm okay with that idea. But for me, no. For me, I'm still thinking, well, let's wait for that weekly W. Just my 2 cents. I don't know. YouTube, it's lagging on my part. You can still hear me, Kevin?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Or I'm speaking by myself? Yeah, okay. YouTube is just stopping, and I don't know if I'm still live or not.
Oh no, it looks
Okay.
like our connection's good and everything's good.
Yeah, okay. So this was Flux. Looking at this chart, you can see we are starting, I don't know fundamentally about this one, but we are starting to go sideways. Even if Bitcoin, it's, I don't know, in the middle. You can look at this project, doesn't have a bottom here. Honestly, yeah, we can form a bottom here if we'll go in the long reload zone and we'll put another W and we'll form a big weekly W. Okay, but for the moment, look here. Yeah, we are starting to go sideways, but we are still in that environment. Lower highs, lower lows. So until that will change, well, I don't have any reason to do anything else. Let's hope for a retest of the highs here, and maybe we'll get some free coins. Okay, next one. RSR. Well, this one on the trading part, on premium and VIP, even for general members, we made a nice trade. But let's see what we have on weekly basis. Well, on weekly basis, our trade is insignificant. It's just look at this one. Yeah, I know they are not is not the same amount of coins here that we had here. I know that. So it's not the same chart. We cannot look. It's not a correct chart. But you can see we bought this level. We have a weekly W, a smaller one, not the wide, a big one I want, but you can see this is a valid weekly W. And you can see what happened after that. Up, and you can see this is 0.2, 0.4, well, almost a double. We bought this level. Our shot it's a lot higher. Okay, I have a weekly W, but not the wide and the big one. Same kind of idea like on the other altcoin. We are still in that environment that where we are trying to find the bottom. And if you have experience from the last bull markets, you'll know that Bitcoin will find the bottom a lot sooner than altcoins. Altcoin will lag usually, and we have time to buy them. Don't chase altcoins. Who chased here? Well, now it's 20-30% underwater. Why you want to chase here? Do you think it will go straight up? Well, that's why we have a rule in our community. Let's buy long reload zones. Let's buy at least, let's wait for a 61.8 retracement. Okay, show me enough reasons and now I'm okay with calling pump chaser zone. I'm okay with that in the right environment. I don't think is the case here. But show me something, show me a setup. Don't chase and buy tops. Well, here, be damn sure that you have the short in the market, and I don't think it's the case to do anything else. We still have 0.5 to buy a big, wide weekly W. Okay, let's take a look. I think we still have one or two. Well, we have peer. This is a nice one. Zach favorite coin at some point in time. I don't know if it's still his favorite coin, but cheap ass, call me whatever you want. I didn't get an entry on this one. You can see where we wanted to get an entry. We didn't get the entry. Market goes straight up. We have a range here. We broke the range. We push higher. Well, because I have this limit order here exactly, and you can see how many times this level was tested. I'll leave it here. But in the same time, I'm okay. It's even recommended to do something like this. Okay, let's put a long reload zone. Let's put the reload zone for altcoins, so 78 to 88.6. And you can see where you should start thinking buying above $4. It's up to you if you want to buy it here, and I'm okay with buying it at $4. I'll buy it myself. Well, no, I'll wait for a retracement and for the next W. If another weekly W will come above my buying area, then I'll change my mind and I'll remove this one and I'll buy 1% at the next weekly W. That proves me that will not probably will not retest this level and will go higher. But I need a retracement and I need another weekly W here. And we'll get that in time. Will take a lot of time to get a weekly double. You can see we start ranging from July 2022 and we stopped in October 2023. Well, it's a lot of time of just waiting. If we're lucky, we'll get this level. If we're not so lucky, we'll have to buy the next weekly W. Chasing here, in my opinion, is not an option. It's just not for us. Maybe other people they can do that. Not for us, and not for this plan on this time frame. Okay, let's see. I guess we still have one or two. Rose and STG, I guess. So let's see Rose. Same idea, same problem. I was a cheap ass, seems like. And you can see this is a range. We broke the range. Could be a fake out. You can look at this 3-bar fractal top. You can call it that way. Yeah, we have a range here. You can see low, high of the range. We bounced around. I think it's a fake out. Maybe I'm wrong and this one could go to the moon without me. Well, next boss, nothing I can do. Same idea. Drawing the long reload zone and waiting for, I'll be honest, general setup is the best setup here. So waiting for location, probably some bullish divergence on indicators and next W. And I don't think we should miss the next general setup or three-step setup. People from TRI, they know a three-step setup. It's a bit different on our community. We have a wider approach. But the next W in the long reload zone, I think is the, let's call it that way, last chance for us to get in cheaper on this, on most of the altcoins. So let's wait and see what will happen. That's why I said it's time to go on 10 altcoins every week. I'll pay more attention on what is happening on weekly chart because it's that time. I think, honestly, in my opinion, 2024 is buy the dip environment. Yeah, if 2023 was, like we said from the beginning, it is accumulation year where we should slowly accumulate altcoins. Now it's a different approach. We are deeper in the bull market. Let's say at least a bull market will come, and we are not in the slowly accumulating. We are by the deep kind of environment, just before the bull market will start or exponential part of the bull market. If we're lucky, we'll get a couple of months, maybe half a year. I think until the halvening, we still can get, and 1 month after the halvening, we can still get a nice dip. After that, we'll see. We'll reassess then. But 2024 will be a year for that kind of buy the dip scenario. Okay, next one. So let's see. Next one I said it's STG. Well, you can see here, same scenario. No limit order field, but we don't have that weekly double. So I don't have a problem keeping this one here. For the moment, I'm okay with keeping the limit order here. If I don't have at least one weekly W, I don't feel the need to do anything else. Just wait. I need at least one weekly W. Smaller, smaller, uglier, but at least one. I don't have anything here. So for me, nothing to do. Let's just keep that limit order there. If I'll see a W above my level, I could change my mind and I could reassess. But for the moment, nothing to do. Well, that was the last one. So we spoke about 10 altcoins. Most of them on the plan, most of them, we don't have a fill. You can see we have a lot of unchecked boxes here. I still think, let's not say probable, let's say possible that we'll get that bottom fills. Let's just be patient and wait. I know, like last year, a lot of people said, oh, okay, it's not possible. We'll go straight up. Well, market is not going straight up. It's not going straight down. It's going up and down mostly. And I don't think we are in that exponential phase of the market where I should, okay, let's get 61.8 and let's get in and let's ride the bull market. Not yet. At least. After the halvening, okay, we can change our mind. But for the moment, I think we still have time to get some cheap fills. Well, that's the plan. If you want to, this is for free for everyone. If you want more than that, if you want to swing trade, if you want to follow our ideas, you can join the premium part. If you want to learn to trade by yourself, to have your own plan, to I don't know, to have your own business, trading business, well, then you should join Capua One, and we are trying in that Capua One program to get you from zero to swing trader. You should be able to swing trade after you finish Capua One. If you want more, it's a different discussion. But if you want to be able to swing trade by yourself, to decide, to make your plan, to decide yourself, okay, I'll buy this, I'll put my stop loss there. On 4-hour daily chart, you can join Capua 1. Will take 4 months intensive work, and then another 8 months of keeping you on our community on premium part. That's part of that Capua 1 program. So 4 months intensive, then you should stay another 8 months on our premium part. You can answer all your questions. 3 months we'll try to teach you the technical part. 1 month I want to see you practically if you are able to follow your plan and you understood and you can follow a setup. We still have the 2023 Capua 1 students. They still have 1 week more. Kevin and I, we decided that they need more practice. So they all will close that program at the end of the next week. Okay. I don't know, Kevin, if you can hear me, maybe we should do the giveaway.
Yeah, I can
know
hear you.
DMAC is waiting. I know DMAC is waiting for a chance.
Yeah, sure. Let's do it. Let's see. Kind of less retweets today than normal, just because the holidays did kind of mess up everything a little bit, but just makes a better chance for people.
Yeah, they have a better. There are same people. Maybe some of them they had the holidays and they didn't retweet. DMAC is okay with that. Seems like I guess he retweeted.
That's funny. Here, sorry, I'm just messing with some screens really quick. I got too many damn tabs open here. Okay. Well,
yeah, I could see your wheel, so
yeah,
that's good. From experience, I know you don't want my drum, so I'll keep it quiet.
All right. Well, yeah, here we go. Let's see. All right. Well, yeah, sorry about that. Here we go. All right. Well, I'm going to hit the button. We're going to see who wins. Party, 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 party. Ah, Mr. Noom. Cool. I don't know if Noom's in here today.
I have a lag on YouTube, so who won?
Noom won.
Time?
I assume that's Noom from our group.
Well, if it's Noom, then I don't think he has any option than to pick a one-to-one with me, you or Stefan. He's a permanent member already from a long time ago. So for him, only one-to-one or other request. I don't know.
Oh, cool.
So Noom, if you see this this live stream, please reach out to us, and you can choose because you are a permanent. You can choose me, Kevin, or Stefan. It's up to you.
Nice. Well, yeah, I know Noom's in there trading away. Well,
Noom is on the technical side. He's a good trader. He knows a lot of stuff. He just need a slightly, I don't know, maybe to scalping to update his plan a little bit. But on the technical side, I think he knows more than me.
Nice.
He's a good student. Let's call it that way.
Cool. Well, congrats, Noom. I'll be hearing from you soon, or one of us will be. And I guess didn't see anybody. If anybody wants to look at anything specific, we could probably do some requests. Otherwise,
David said something about check hook. He asked me, but if you have the screen, please check hook.
Okay,
well, look on the general chat.
Ooh, look at that dumping down into. Let me still fucking around with all these windows. Okay, yeah. So hook. I got hook up on the screen from Binance Hook USDT. Looks like something happened this week where they yeah, something happened that brought it back down to the bottom of the range. I would just say pretty simply, like going back to the weekly chart here. I mean, there is a nice weekly W here, and they've just brought price right down into it. So of course, any buys against that level, in my opinion, aren't too bad. You can see it's just sitting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe we call that the it's kind of the W's in there. Maybe we use that high or these candle body highs. Either way, it's basically the same level, but you can see prices just sitting there right now. So I wouldn't really fault anybody for buying there. Of course, you could have drawn fibs and you'd see that 78.6 got tagged already. So, I mean, having bids working at 78.6, it's not the worst idea. I mean, I don't know if it's going to bounce right here or not, but I wouldn't really fault anybody for stepping in. I mean, nice weekly W to work from. And also, it looks like I don't know if OBV was, yeah, OBV's in divergence all through there. So even that nice W in OBV was the divergence, I think, here. Yeah, right here. It's harder to see. Well, nonetheless, you can see that's a W right there because this is a higher low. So anyway, I don't mind buys here in the reload zone. So what's that, 93 cents and below? 78.6 is at 84 cents. 88.6 is at 74 cents. So I could see anywhere in there taking nibbles, and that's fine. I would just be mindful of this opening candle here and the likelihood of this getting tagged. And we've seen this so many times before on these like Binance opens, where price does have to eventually make its way down there. So that's 10 cents. Holy shit. It looks like a lot smaller of a move than it actually is. But man, that's quite a bit of a move. So we start losing the current low here, then it's obviously got a lot of room to come down if it's going to hit that level. But I think in the general sense of the market right now, I don't know. If you like this name, I certainly don't mind buying against the range. Of course, if you're trading this, like with the setup, you're probably going to want to just walk away if the structure is broken. But, if you're kind of doing this investment type trading that we're talking about today, then sure, I could see taking a small nibble there and then just letting it work away. And if prices come down lower, then, next weekly W that comes in, maybe leave enough room to add. And then, you probably come in averaged in somewhere, even if you came in averaged in at like 50 cents down the road, doubles aren't too far away from that. And of course the highs are up at like $4. So there's plenty of room to just make some money with the test of the highs again down the road. Might be worth looking at. I'm not too familiar with Hook specifically, but maybe let's look at like any of these like CoinGecko, CoinMarketCap, whatever. It's always worth just checking out the whole history because I don't know what's going on with this Hook in the bigger picture. I guess it's probably that Hooked protocol. You can just kind of look at the max of their chart. So yeah, quite a lot more. Well, this looks totally different though. I don't know. Am I looking at the right thing? It is Hook. Let's see. That's going back to December of 2022. This is November of 22. Oh, so that's weird. So that is. I guess it's just you don't see this candle so much on the CoinGecko chart. Yeah, it looks a little different to me, but nonetheless, I mean, same thing applies. Like maybe that Binance Open isn't relevant. I don't know. You kind of have to decide that for yourself. But even looking at this chart, you can see the nice base put in, and we're just retesting that W. So in general, I like it. So yeah, Hook's not bad. I don't think this is one that's readily available to me. Not on Coinbase or Kraken. And maybe I could trade that on chain. Let's see, this is a Ethereum name, it looks like, or no, it's on BNB. So yeah, if you're in the US, you could probably go pick that up on like PancakeSwap if you're interested in it. So I'll look into that. I am in general kind of like shifting gears a little bit and trying to get on chain a little bit more just because I have been sort of like basically barred from crypto. I don't know, it's funny. Even like airdrops were barred from. It's hilarious. I mean, you can still kind of access them, but it's hilarious how even like the airdrops are starting to bar the US. Anyway, oh, Andre. Hey, Andre, what's up? He just threw some names in there. I think we looked at GLM earlier in the show, actually. Um, you're saying they're all down at 61.8, but we can take a look at those. I want to skip to Zen right away because I know Zen's one of my favorite Dino coins, but it didn't really perform so hot so far. Or should we look at that? Maybe like on Binance here. Oh, Binance, I have this whole write up on there about that was from school or from our class. So maybe I'll look. We could look at. I guess this one has my trade on it. Well, Coinbase doesn't have like the past history of Zen though. So, but nonetheless, we'll just leave that out for I don't know about 68, 61.8 W retest. Looks like they're testing the lows of the range right here. But it's funny, Zen never quite got going right here. Well, at least didn't get going in like doubles kind of potential like the rest of the like much of the market did. I still like Zen a lot. I mean, I've talked about it a lot in the past. I don't know exactly like the status of their development or what they have going on in that way, but just from the simple fact that Zen kind of there's only 21 million coins out, so it's they copied Bitcoin in that respect, and so it's got a limited supply, and it's also backed by Grayscale. There's a Grayscale Zen trust, and I just in the bigger picture, I think this thing has every reason to start. You know, you can see the highs up here at $137, and it's at like 10. Well, it's less now, 750 today. So I mean, plenty of room to the upside here, and then there's a nice W base happening already. So yeah, retests against that W seem okay. I'm not gonna do anything here. I'm already loaded up for the moment. I'm just gonna let it sit here. Didn't get my double off. And I don't like that OBV sort of broke here. It was in a nice uptrend, and now it's sort of breaking the structure. There's a big old M in OBV now. So if you're not in this already, I don't fault anybody for just going in and grabbing that. But there is an M here. I mean, this doesn't look. It's not my favorite here now because there's actually an M in price. You know, it's not a shortable M in my opinion. Its location's horrible, but nonetheless, it broke here. But the W is still holding, so it's just kind of a question of, I don't know, like Paul's attitude of maybe like stepping in against the lows. That's not the worst place to have a stink bid working, and just see if you can get filled when they actually take that low out, because it kind of looks like they want to. And it's sort of trending down still. Like we tried to go into the uptrend here with this big old W that came in. However, we didn't take out that high. It would have been nice to see them at least take this high out to actually suggest that maybe the trend was turning, but so far we just got lower highs and lower lows now. This was a lower low. Now we have a lower high. Seems pretty likely they'll come and take these lows out here below 550. So yeah, it doesn't look great, but I do like, I don't know why I like Zen. It's just one that I've done well on in the past. It's always been around. It makes sense to me. And like I said, it's backed by Grayscale. So I think going forward, it's probably fine, but I don't think it's going to go to zero or anything, but it's not my favorite right here just because of this sort of breakdown in OBV and price. But to be fair, I mean, if you drew some fibs, it's probably sitting right at 78.6, 88.6 kind of area of the current range. So hey, you could see how they basically, and this is I mean, if anything, this is such a perfect example of how they'll just, 78.6 is just like a damn magnet. And now that we've kind of entered into this, I mean, this is a pretty good example of the sort of market that we're into. This one's just a little farther along. It's like we came, you know, we sort of came in down and bottomed here. This would happen to be in May of this year. But you can kind of see the consolidation that was just happening all through here. It's not really a great looking range because we did take the lows out, but for the most part, we were just the bear market is at least kind of behind us. You know, this thing might still have to make a new low, but we did break down, put in a nice wide W, and it currently is still holding. But the point I'm making here is I think we're in the realm now where like anytime you can buy a 78.6 against a previous W here, it's just, I want to say no brainer. It doesn't mean they're all going to work, but it's just like if you're going to build a simple plan to take advantage of these markets, then I think that plan going forward is, you know, hitting 78.6, especially against previous weekly W's. I said a lot last year, like as we got more into the end of the accumulation year, I'd be more likely to just kind of knife catch levels as price dumps down into 78.6. I think this is a great example. It also has the benefit of a W already working. So, you know, probably go lower, but at the same time, you could buy this 725 level, maybe go underwater for a while, bang a double out at 1450 down the road, and then plenty of upside going forward. So I'm still in it for Zen. I just don't love the chart here. Yeah, and Andre's saying for people that still want to buy, he's good with it here. Yeah, I mean, look at this chart here. I mean, even going back to Binance, so you can see the previous levels actually, and just ignore my, I mean, this one, the funny thing is this is my setup here that I've talked so much about over the last year, and it is still active, you know, like even if you were to work a stop here, technically it's, you know, and that was also assuming you're kind of chasing this W. That's a pretty big W to go chase. but uh, it's still just bumping along. But if you kind of look left and just see this old W right here, that breakout is, basically right where price is sitting and right where we've based currently. So can't fault anybody for buying this thing right there. What else you got in your list? CLV. I know that's one that looks interesting to me. Mana, ZRX. Those are all names that I'd like to. Like I didn't bang a double. Let's look at Mana. I know Mana hasn't really. It didn't really perform yet either. I mean, it got a kind of a decent bounce here. There was a little bit of a weekly W in here. I guess it doubled, or no, it didn't. I know I didn't get a double on Mana. Looks like the breakout level's at 33 and it topped at 60. So not quite a double off that W here. But I'm a fan of Mana. This is also another one that I did really well on last cycle. And I don't know what's going to happen going forward, but very simply put, I'll just first mention just this kind of weird downside risk that there still is this open air down here. If they decided they want to bring it all the way back down to the old cycle lows, then there is quite a bit of room to do that. But I mean, in the present moment, buying that W level to me seems like super reasonable. So that's a 32, 33 cents or so. And it's another example of if I draw fibs right here, what do you think that level is? 33 cents if I draw my fibs off here. It kind of looks like an 88.6 kind of thing to me. Let's just draw those. Or it's closer to 78.6, even better. So anyway, that's like a no-brainer level in my opinion, 33 cents. W breakout level and 78.6. Perfect level to hit. And you can almost see this happening. Going back to is there going to be an altcoin dip? I don't know. Just looking at this, it kind of looks like when I look at something like this, I think reload zone tags at minimum are more likely than this to turn around and start ripping straight up again. I don't know. It's just kind of a gut feeling. I can't really call a top here. There's not like an M. You can see RSI never got overbought, but it did M out and it's kind of breaking. And you can also see the M and OBV just sort of coming in, which I don't like those. It's tiny. But I just feel like probability of at least tagging Mountain Man before it moving higher is pretty high. And also I think a 78.6 is very likely. And actually I have this trend line drawn on here, which, is valid. It's not like, I don't remember specifically what I was probably talking about drawing that, but it is a valid trend line off this M top. And just if you use that as a gauge, there's no like W over on this side. And also you can just see how if they were going to take out these, if they were going to test these levels down here, you can see how this thing might have to walk down the trend line a bit. So it kind of looks like it's setting up to go lower. Now, to be fair, I still like that W breakout level. I'd buy that, no problem. And just know that if we lose the levels there, there's plenty of downside left. But in general, it looks pretty good. It looks like they're just setting up a reload zone dip to buy. That's the exact kind of thing we're looking to do here. So what's another one? ZRX. I did get a double on ZRX. Look at it on Binance. Yeah, I was involved in that move. And you can see the same thing. I mean, shit, these are already getting close to buyable. So the dip is already dipping. I mean, do the same thing really quick and just draw my reload zones. And you can see how we're already in a reload zone on this one. So I suppose aggressive people might just go and hit Mountain Man right there. And that's fine. But I don't think there's a rush here. But you can kind of, now we have like a nice big wide W. It's not really like a buy the breakout level kind of W because that's way up here at 38 cents. But certainly the base is in. It's against the old lows. Could probably look at this with maybe more history, even on Coinbase perhaps. I don't know. Yeah, Coinbase has more history. I know this has been on there for a while. So you can see we've come all the way down to the old lows. You can see how they put this big wide W in right off basically 88.6 of the old cycle. And even my line right there, that's the thing about ZRX is this W is kind of ugly, but there is a bottom there. So I do where I had that line at 26. I think that's like the sort of, that's the level to start thinking about buying. And then if you want to be a little bit more stinky, you could even hunt these equal lows down here and there's a pretty okay chance they might wash that level. I don't know. kind of gets into that thing of whether I don't want to miss these things. Me personally, I already got a double out, so I'm happy to just buy against that reload against the 26 cents area. And if I draw some fibs, I bet you that's 786. Oh, look at that. What a fucking surprise. Oh, wait, I didn't even draw it right. Same thing. You can see how the 78.6 level is 24. That W breakout's 26. I don't know what you guys do, whatever you're going to do, but man, if I was going to buy something, that would be where I'd buy it right there at 26, 27 cents. And it's already happening. It's already almost there. And again, this thing, I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, but the problem with like being too, or not having your plan ready is this thing might just hit this level and just rip from there. I'm not saying it's going to happen for sure, but I will say I've seen it happen a million times before. And I think we're in this kind of environment where now the bases are set. So like it's not going to necessarily give us some long thing to buy again. So I don't know. Act accordingly. Just accidentally disconnected my headphones, but so anyway, do you like
Well,
it
we
though?
can still hear you.
Oh no, it was just me. I mean, I'm not even listening myself in my headphones, but I just stepped on the cord. So if you were to talk, I wouldn't hear you, but it's all good. I mean, I like ZRX in general, and I like buying it right there. I mean, I don't know. And just think about it. It's like I don't even really know what ZRX does. I think it's another kind of metaverse thing. I've traded it for like going back to even back here. I've always been involved in this one, and you could kind of see how they're just
Well, we
polite.
have some possible.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think buying some. No, I think buying some at that level you showed us. Yeah, it's reasonable, and we should buy some. I should load all the everything I have, will get a full bag at that level. Well, I don't know. Maybe we can leave some room for lower levels, but that's a good level to buy, definitely.
Yeah, I mean,
That
there is this kind of
breakout.
like FU setting up here where they could easily just kind of.
Yeah, in the right environment, you should have a limit order below, but don't count on that SFU trade anymore. So buy some at the breakout from that W at 78.6 level, and just in case, put a limit order below.
I
I
mean,
think
that's a
is the
pretty sick
best
level.
approach. You cannot lose with this strategy. So buy at 78.6 and put a limit order below.
Yeah, but I mean, even so,
You'll get
say,
a really nice feel.
yeah, totally. I mean, you get a 10-cent fill here, a double's like it's not going to take anything to get a double. Um, and
Mhm.
even right here, like, I mean, just looking at this chart, if you bought at 32 and your doubles at 64, so it does have to kind of just barely take out this high. But in the bigger
Yeah.
picture, what are the chances if you're patient enough to just, even if you go underwater for a while, I don't know, what are the chances you'll probably get a double out down the road? I think they're really high. Just
Well, for a double, pretty high for a double, but we are not hunting just a double. We are hunting to get a double to get our money back, and then at least 10x.
yeah, yeah, sure. And to be fair, I mean 10x is that is new highs in this case. 10x is
Yeah,
going to be up at 3 somewhere. I mean assuming you bought that 32 level, you get a 10-cent level and then all of a sudden 10x is
well, it's a
nothing.
different story.
So
Yeah,
which that's a pretty funny example of like when you're looking at these non-log charts, I suppose. Like it's funny the difference between being a buyer at 32 and being a buyer at 10 here is just a massive difference if you're trying to get a 10x down the road.
yeah. That's the plan. We want to exit everything at the P cycle top. So our entry, because we are not using only little old lady, our entry is really important. That's why I'm trying to get the lower levels. That's why I'm trying to get the best entries. I'll change my mind if I'll see weekly W's like you have on that one. Okay, that one has clear bottom formed already. But most of the altcoins they don't have something like that. So I'm hoping for a few move for lower levels because I know that in the top of the bull market will make a big difference between like you have there 30 cents or 10 cents.
Yeah, for sure. And also, you won't have to be as underwater. I mean, for sure, you buy this at 32, you might have to go 50% under for a little while, which can be hard on your emotions and stuff. Um, I'll just one last thing I'll say about this, just because it's a comment I've heard a lot of people say, and I don't know, maybe they're right. There's probably validity to it, but these like Dino coins, this didn't make a new high last cycle. You know, they ran it up against the old high, but couldn't quite get it there. So I don't know. Is the upside objective less on this? Like, is it worth maybe taking like like this line tool and just going like, well, maybe the is like $2.27 like probably our upside here. Are we not going to make new highs down the road? So you might want to consider those kind of
Stefan will
things.
tell you. Stefan will tell you that you have equal highs there.
Well, yeah, you do.
We should take that level.
I'm just kind of saying, like a lot of people's opinion is that these Dino coins that didn't bust the highs in the last cycle are going to be weaker going forward, and there might be truth to that. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. It's just something to think about. And to be fair, like me personally, I'm going to do it anyway. And I'm going to just kind of buy I'm comfortable with this name. I'm still going to buy it, and I'll also acknowledge that the new shiny things are the ones that are going to rip. So it's like you kind of have to make sure you're still also trying to find the next, like Solana, for example, last cycle, or I remember GMT. I missed stepping last time. I just got a double out on it this time, but I remember having to watch that thing just rip last time, and I wasn't in it. And it was like new shiny. Yeah. That was a new shiny thing, so just keep that in mind. But what else? It's like Andre's coming up at us with all the Dino coins today, which is cool. I have time I'll do two more really quick because we're getting kind of the end, but there's only two more in his list because, like I said, we covered GLM earlier. But Dash, the ultimate Dino coin, old Dash. Yeah, Dash doesn't look so good. I never banged a double out this cycle on Dash. I did. Can't remember specifically where. I guess I probably bought that W, but I'd have to go look. But I know that it hasn't performed, and really, like, I mean, we're making new lows on Dash, so I'll just. I guess Binance is a good place to look. Maybe there's more history. Definitely not on Coinbase, but where's Bittrex? Maybe Kraken has more. Where's Bittrex? I guess Bittrex is dead now, but yeah, Bittrex probably has the most history. It looks kind of weird, but it's still kind of same chart. Still grinding to new lows. I'll go back to that Binance chart. Anyway, Dash is making new lows. There is a little weekly W that's being tested right now, but it's not my favorite. I mean, it has tons of upside to be sure, but I mean, if you're just buying W's, you can see the retest. This is the kind of retest that we're looking for on all of these altcoins, just right back down against the W. So I certainly have no problem buying it right where it sits. It's just that Dash isn't necessarily my favorite. I think some people were banging out doubles through here. I didn't, but I remember people in the group. I mean, that was already 2022 though. I don't love this one. This isn't the sort of rounded bottom against previous cycle lows that I'm hoping for. It's just sort of grinding to new lows. We could easily have a new low here in the future. But, OBVs and divergence, this is not confirmed here. Potential divergence. RSI didn't hit oversold, but is kind of turned here. It's okay. Like, technically it's fine. I don't have a problem buying that level, but Dash isn't my favorite coin to be buying. So if you're just trying to buy a little bit of everything, then it's probably not the worst idea. But, I don't know if Dash is qualifying for shiny new thing. That's for sure. And I'll end with CLV. And then, Cole just popped in and had one that I got to look at now too. So I guess we got to look at two more. But CLV I wanted to look at because it's one that I had seen somebody talking about recently. And I thought it's, I mean, man, you can see these dips happening. So don't tell me they're not going to come down to reload zones. They're already happening on a lot of these. If I drew some reload zones, it looks like that's the low. So it did actually talk about equal lows, definitely set up equal lows here. So tests of the 20, I guess that's 3 cents, 029. Seems pretty likely, but if I just drew some fibs here, you can see we're already at Mountain Man, getting into reload zones. As far as like previous market structure, I don't know. Sort of WE, right? What's actually the real low here? Oh, it looks like the low is actually back here. That's 2870. 29, 29, 29. That's the exact same lows. That's crazy. So that's 29.01 and that's 29.07. So close. Anyway, you can see the equal lows again. So yeah, taking out of those lows might be in store, but and there's technically a W there. Actually, it is a W. So and OBV is very much in divergence and pointing higher, and even had some pretty decent volume in that run up here. Didn't quite take out this this volume back here, but it's pretty good. I actually am long this this one, but I don't think I had a double. I'm pretty sure I didn't get double here. But anyway, going back to the whole process of fibs and stuff, yeah, sure. It's like it got a W. Looks like the breakout levels right here at Mountain Man. I like 78.6 at 40 or 041. And it's just, yeah, it's just a question of if you like it enough to step in here. No reason not to. I like that candle body high right at 78.6 there. That's a 43.043. So, I mean, what are the chances of getting filled there? I think it'll easily get filled there. The only question is, does it keep going lower? That looks pretty good. Now I'm going to end, Andre, we're down to stems and seeds. Okay. That's funny. Let's look at PHA and then I'll stop just because Cole popped in and now I got to look at it. So he says it's 10xable and yeah, looks like it is to me. I mean, this is a nice, nice bottoming phase here, right? Nice and wide. Like, sure, they ripped it here for whatever reason. I guess that was back in October of 2022. And so far, that low's holding. And there is a W here, and it just hasn't really gotten going. So, you know, I see a W there. Kind of weird. I don't know. Those highs, these wicks technically would be the. It's kind of weird. I guess the W would be like this, though. It'd be. How do I draw this here? Like this. So there is a W. And the breakout level is technically at 11 cents, which is above where we're sitting right now. OBV, be nice to see OBV divergence right through there and that move to new low, which is actually is there. It's kind of weird because it's not really from that low to that low. It's actually from farther back. But I mean, that's very much divergence in my opinion. So like to use the solid lines for confirmed divergence. And of course, when we took out those highs here, so divergence is confirmed in here. And, you know, you can see that we were making a new low here. That key low and this key low is lower. You could also argue there's a little trend line there that's also been now, you know, that's kind of maybe a weird place to draw the trend line. Yeah, W's not quite on the other side, but nonetheless, it's trying. W's in. Same story. I mean, hell, this one's viable right now. It's just a question of why didn't it perform with the rest of the market recently? It didn't really get going. I suppose if you were long off the very bottom, you maybe got a double. Not quite. Yeah, bottomed it at 8 cents and topped at 14. So not quite a double there, but I like it. And I think Cole's right. Without a doubt, there's 10x potential here. I mean, if you're stepping in at 11, I guess 10x is a test of the highs. And in general, I like that bottom. That looks pretty good. It's just a question of why it hasn't really done anything lately. I don't know. I can't fault anybody for buying that right where it sits, actually, right here. And me personally, I don't know if I can even... It's on Kraken, but Kraken's tricky because sometimes the Kraken names aren't available to me, even though they're on Kraken. But I'll have to look into that. But yeah, it looks pretty good. So anyway, went through a few more names, and actually every name we just looked at was just, to me, showing, well, this one's already down there, but they're all dipping in the way that that I'm expecting to happen here in the next few months. It's just a question of whether you want to step in and buy or not. I mean, I could pick like I love my, where's AGLD? I was thinking about this one earlier because like this would be a good example of one that's, oh, great. Of course, I have a bunch of stuff drawn on that one too, but let me find I could just, So like this one maybe is more like a lot of the stronger coins, but it's hopefully you can still just see the and of course this doesn't have all that previous history, but you can see the W that came in and set the base back here on in July of last year, uh, and now we have this nice wide W. It came back down into reload zones after that, and then has I've gotten two doubles now. I got a double in that move, and then a double in these moves here. I actually missed my double on that first. I didn't have my order working on that candle, and then they were nice enough to fill me. I mean, I had to wait like 6 more weeks though. One, two, yeah, like 6 weeks to get that double. But the point I'm trying to make here is you can kind of just see the dip setting up. Like this one's still relatively strong. If you drew your fibs, you can see that we're not quite down to reload zones, but you can just see how easily. I mean, they shot these wicks up here against the old highs here, and now I mean you can just see it coming. So I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen for sure, but I just think the chances of these reload zones getting tagged here in the next couple months are pretty good. So, and I do kind of, I mean, this is a gut feeling, so it's opinionated gut feeling. I feel like things are running out a little bit of, running out of gas a little bit here. So get your bids working. Like this one for sure. I'm going to reload here. Don't ask me if my bids working though, because I don't. I got to do some work myself here. But yeah, me personally, I'll probably just hit 61.8 again. This is one that I've just sort of liked this year. Just, I don't know why. I just do. And it seems to be going on just fine. So the only thing, whatever coin you pull up, they're all kind of like this, and you can just see it coming here. So get ready for the dips. Looks like they're dipping. This one I got some fills on already. So like CVX, same thing. The W is in. They ran it a little bit, dumped it right into my level. So this one's already a little bit ahead of the game. So anyhow, I'll leave it at that. Otherwise, I'll keep on going. But end of story is get your damn bids working. Cole's name looks pretty damn good. Go look at PHA. And let's all just work together to that's the whole point of our community. If you want to jump in our Discord and even on our free side of our Discord, we definitely talk about these kind of ideas more than actually like scalping and stuff. Our premium side of the group is very much focused on like setups and lower time frame trading. Although everybody's still kind of doing this type of trading, so if you're more of an investor and stuff, certainly pop in there and share your ideas with us. Like if you can find me any any names that have W's working and prices coming back down into that W, and basically that's what I want to find. So, this one's farther along, but you can even see the dip coming in here. This horrible looking weekly candle is not a good look for this gear, whatever it is. So just get ready to buy the fucking dip. And with that said, I think we'll call it a day. It's been an hour and 45 minutes now because I can't seem to ever shut up. But unless there's anything left you want to add to that, Paul, then I think we'll move on. We'll be back next Sunday.
Well, you know me, level by level, trade your plans, leave aside your opinions. On the investment plan, like I said, and I'll repeat every time until will not be the same idea. 2024 for the moment is buy the dip kind of a year. So that doesn't mean 1% lower I should buy the dip. But if you are looking at weekly chart, buy the dip scenario is valid. On almost 95% of the altcoins in the crypto space, almost everything looks like that. Even Ethereum, even Bitcoin. If Bitcoin will go back at 61.8, I'll definitely buy some. So
yeah,
it's a nice year to make to get some nice feels if you are paying attention. Don't wait to get to that level and then think about buying, because you'll not buy. You know that. If you have the orders there, that's a different story. Well, that's it. We'll go more than 2 hours, so let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we'll wrap it up. It really is that simple in this kind of this style of investment trading. And in this current climate, I think what we're saying is now, of course, it could all go to hell, and like who knows, maybe there's another crazy black swan. But even a black swan event is still just a viable opportunity at this point, in my opinion, in crypto. So we'll just be doing the same thing every week as always, starting out 2024. Hopefully improving constantly in what we do, and for the moment, I'll still be doing a Tuesday YouTube show. We got Stefan scalping live on YouTube Tuesdays during the London session, and then of course Paul makes a daily plan video every day, 5 days a week, to highlight some trading levels. So that'll be Monday through Friday, also around the London session. And then of course on Tuesdays we also open up our live trading session during the New York session for anybody that's in our Discord community. And you can join our Discord at cryptotradersarena.com. And we'll be starting the Capula One program also here pretty shortly. So if you're interested in learning how to do this and kind of working directly with us for the next year, then hit me up. You could just find me on Discord. It's probably the easiest way, or even on Twitter, or you could reach out to us on Twitter at crypto. It's crypto_T_arena, or just search Crypto Traders Arena. Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that, and just see you guys on Tuesday. Maybe see some of the rest of you in New York session tomorrow morning for me, afternoon for everybody else, most of the group at least. And I'll leave it at that. So take care, everyone. I'm going to hit this disclaimer because, of course, we're just talking about what we do. We're not really telling you to go do this with your money. We highly recommend you create a plan and follow healthy risk management so that you don't get run over in this market, because it can be insanely, it can be very bad for people that go chase tops with too much risk. So anyway, take it easy. See y'all soon.